Boy, that took a while. And it's off. I checked the other ones down here too, and they're off. And it was under study room. And it wasn't under any lights. Usually it's under light circuit, or it might specifically show smoke alarms. But it didn't. It showed study. And meaning the in a room, or no, it said guest room, and that was for the electrical outlets in a guest room, whichever room they're calling guest room. And they also tied in the 4 smoke alarms to that too. Okay, so look around. You're gonna have to start flipping light switches or breakers, and you can. It took me a while, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if you have 2 people, you have someone, hey, can you just stand here and tell me when that green light goes off? You can do something like that too. Okay, so we got it off. Now I've got to get my nail bag, and we're ready to install these. And what do I need? What do I need? Do you need to have a nail bag with all the tools and stuff in there? No, I think you might be able to get it with just just a Phillips screwdriver. But I'll see, you know, with the wire nuts, I might need something else up there. But generally, just a limited amount of tools. Hey, you can do this. I know you can. Now, I have not gotten up there yet to see how to remove this, but usually you can grab it, and usually it will slide one way or another, and we'll see. It could be just the screws, the mounting screws for the back side is attached. No, maybe not. See? Okay. Now you have to remember there could be a battery in here, and the battery could still be attached. Well, we'll see. It's like the back, you see, like that. We're just gonna kind of pinch this and pull that out of the back. It hooks in to some wires back in there, and that's all you're gonna have. That's all you're gonna have so far. And on this particular one, let's take a quick look at this. See, there happens to be a cover here. I'm thinking that pops open, and maybe there's the battery in there. Sure enough, see? There's the battery. And I'm not gonna, before I do too much, you know, I'm going to install one, and then I'm going to disconnect this battery from here, because if you don't, this thing could start chirping. And you're thinking, what the heck is that? See, that one does it there. Sometimes there's a little side thumb turn thing, or a thumb clip or something that you depress, and maybe this whole side pops out and the battery's there, or something like that. Okay, now see this one here, look at that. See right there, what's the date? 2001, April 18th, 2001. This thing is 17 years old, and after 10 years, the manufacturers suggest, now I don't know if that's something by law or what, but they suggest, you can look it up, and most of them suggest or stipulate that you need to replace these every 10 years. And I was going to see if it said it on the back, and I'm not I'm not seeing anything on here that says that. I read that on a unit one time, and I'm very adamant about the fact that if these are older than 10 years, even though this might still be working and it's hooked up to the electrical up there and the battery's still working, you replace the battery, even if you replace the battery with a 10-year lithium battery, let's say, they've got those. I think I've seen them at the store, like a 5-year lithium battery that looks like a 9-volt battery that you just put in the back. But even something like that, hey, if it's over 10 years, I am not going to keep it. And I think it's in the directions to a unit or something, or you find it online or something like that, okay? So now we've got this right here, and this is just the backing plate, and it's generally attached with two screws right here. And see, I don't even have to take those screws out. I could do that and then just twist this and pull this down. Okay, that's just your little backing plate. And now I can get to this and see how it's hardwired with your wire nuts. Now I'm going to pull those out. I've got to pull these down to get to them. And generally there's 3 different ones. Well, I'll have to look here. Here we've got a black, yellow, and a white. And see, the white is pushed. Oh, good Lord! They got it pushed up there. And there's 2 more wire nuts up there. And they got this box kind of packed down in there. And I'll have to see. Oh, okay, they got 2 more wire nuts. One is the white wires. Here's the white wires, and one is hooked up and connecting all the ground wires together. They could have done that with just a crimp coupling and attached the ground wires all together with that. But they've done it with the wire nut. Okay. Well, that's what you got so far, just like that. Now, before I disconnect all that, let's take a look at the brand new one down here on the floor. Oh, how cute shower cap they have on there. And here's a whole bunch of directions in case you need the directions. You can read those. Here's the little connector, and there's a certain way to line those up, and generally on this one the wires will be like this. This old one had 3 wires, little prongs, 2 and 1, and so you have to look on the back of that connector and make sure it's the right direction. And see, some smoke detectors, if it's just one that's up in your room and there's no other ones, chances are you're not going to need the red wire nut or the red wire here. And so they just kind of have that sort of capped off. See, they just put this little deal on there. Because if yours is only connected with the black and the white, then you don't need the red. So you just kind of leave that up there in the box and leave it like that. Okay. This is a dust cover in case you've got brand new construction, or let's say you're painting or sanding sheetrock and you're doing some sheetrock repairs, and you put your smoke alarm up there, and then you've got dust up there. Well, you can put this dust cover on there. you know, until you get everything hooked up. See, this says drywall. All construction. Do not remove dust cover until all construction has been completed for at least 24 hours. Drywall, painting, varnishing, mounting plate install, etc. Construction dust and chemicals can cause contamination and false alarms. Okay. Warning, dust cover must be removed for alarm to operate. Okay, so you can keep this for future use. I usually keep them and we'll put them somewhere. Okay, now see on the side of this, you can put your date. Here's the replace date, so you can add 10 years from today's date. You know, and then you just leave that on the side. When it gets installed, I kind of put that towards the wall or something like that, depending how this twists on and that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to put the date, and you can see this says replace by. So if whatever today's date is, add 10 years to it, and then you can put the date and stick it right there. Okay. That's a good place for it. You could write it down here on the back if you wanted, but that's an easy place on the side. Now see, there it was. I thought there was some replace by, and then here's the date of install. Here's a little tape piece, date of install. So I can just put the date on there and not do that one, or vice versa, or both of them, whatever. Here's my mounting bracket. And this should fit. They give you two different size mounting bracket holes. And so you can just leave the screws up there and leave them stuck down. These obviously are for a bigger electrical junction box up there. Maybe it's a 3.5-inch metal box, maybe it's a 4-inch plastic box, or you know, something of that nature. But generally, you can get this to install up there. Okay, so I'm going to put the dates on here, and generally I'll do that with a pen. Don't do it with a pencil, do it with a pen. And I happen to have a pen right here, so I'll do that real quick and we'll get on with it.